Stanley, she said to me something that I really took to heart. She said, asymmetry is always going to be so much more interesting than symmetry. And I agree with that. And so with this, initially I was going to do it in a different way. I was going to have this block cut off, and this extend a little further so it's closer to the table. You can do it that way. So this, if I did it that way, or if I did it this way, this is going to be displacement to the side of the container, because basically this is the base. I could have done it on the base. So basically we're trying to take most of the material design going to be displaced to the side in some way. It's going to be above, it's going to be the side, it's going to be in front of. So for this one, we're going to do it in front of.
Just put it over.
And so for this one, I have all these little water tubes, and you can see I made these little arms. Gregor calls them monkey arms. So it's just the twisted wire, and I just wrap it up around to the other side, and just do it that way, so that when I put it in, it has something to catch.
What kind of tubes are those?
So this is a short water tube. I bought these in Europe. I wish I could get more of them. I bought at Floral when I was there. They have a little shop, one of the wholesalers shut the shop, and I bought all they had. And I bought these too. They call this an orchid tube. It's very small. This one comes with a lid. It's so tiny, but I like having these little tubes.
Are those the one they do for boutonnieres?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that size. What I was using in the past, instead of this, even in smaller, is to get the perfume glass tubes. Those work really well too.
Save me those. I know. Now we have to use them.
So in this one, I'm going to use some Gloria Hauser.
81, girls. 81, Martha. No, she's not.
So the structure is made with, I got a really thick wire to make this. I'm not sure what the gauge is, but it's fairly thick. But it's still thin enough that I could bend it some. What Gregor uses is you can buy a wire that's a meter long wire that's I'm trying to think what the gauge is. It's a very heavy gauge wire, but it's a meter long. And I bought some and had it shipped back to the US. I'm not sure if I got one roll or several, but it's a really thick roll of wires, and it cost me 5 times more to ship it than it did buy it. It cost me 12 euros to buy it, which is crazy for a 1 meter long roll of wire that's like that thick. And it was 60 euros to have it shipped. So I'm trying to find alternatives.
Do you ever take multiple wires and twist them up and then wrap them?
Yeah, quite often I use multiple wires. I think that's the way when I did the last one of these, I used multiple wires on it. And also multiple wires on these two. This is 4 16 gauge wires. Because you need something really strong. I've probably even really gone with 5. Because it's not going to be, depending on what I put in it, it might not be quite strong enough to hold it. But the alternative is I can always put a little wire at the top for my flower and kind of hold it up, right? So basically it's just providing water and a little bit of balance. All those things I think of as I'm making it. It's like, well, okay, how am I going to do this? in some Vanda orchids.
Amazon, everything. Or Etsy.
Look around to the front, because it's easier for me to see what I'm doing. I love Vandas. It's become one of my favorite orchids. The colors that you can get on the European market are astounding. They're the most unusual colors, and Ansu Vanda. If you ever look online, look for Ansu, A-N-S-U Vanda, just to see the colors. They're just, I can't tell you how incredibly diverse the colors are and the sizes. I was able to use some of those for my installation at Hookstrom this year. They were sponsoring for me, and just love them. And I'll mention Hookstrom. Hookstrom is it's a kind of a festival of vegetables and flowers that happens in Hookstrom, Belgium, every September. The town basically pays for all of our costs for our structures and our flowers and our vegetables. And we set up large-scale pieces. There's 30 of them that get set up to the town on the main street. The public comes in for 4 days and can view them. The one structure I built was 3 meters long, 5 meters long, 15 feet. The other one was about 9 feet tall. So they're very large pieces.
When you do something like that, do you dry run it in America before you do an installation anywhere overseas, or
Can I what?
do you do a dry run, like make a mock-up? How do you know?
Some people do it on the computer. My mock-up, I basically, because it was the first time I'd done it, I took foam core and made little maquettes because I needed to know how it's going to work because it was kind of beyond my ability to figure it out and to translate it into meters and centimeters. So it worked, but I was a little nervous about it all. Yeah, I think, again, it's like sketching and having those ideas makes a big difference. So inside of this piece, I've used a little Takahimo binder. It basically, it's almost like a twist tie. It's just, it's a piece of paper covered wire that's meant to look like bamboo. And I just took them and twist them in and bound them onto each other. Buy them in they sell them like a bundle of 100. And I bought 800 and they're gone. Send out every order. But it's a good thing. So many people buy materials and they don't know what to do with it. It sits, and I'll have a lot of material. I have a lot of material at home, and I'm just beginning to really delve into it and be more choosy about what I use. Because at this point, there's really not much else I need. I have so much wire and so many materials. It's time to now create it and put it out in the world. And make room for, at some point, something else. And it's amazing, this is like, there's not much to this arrangement, but it's taking a lot of time. And I think sometimes, you know, when you have that minimal amount of flowers, it takes more time. It's all about placement, where things go. Everything has to have the right place to go. So I can see me making monkey arms. This great set of NCAGC wire cutters. These are the most insanely wonderful set of wire cutters you ever have. If you have really thick stems, like for silk, it'll cut through them like butter. They're amazing.
Can you spell that?
KNIPEX. What's great about them? They just cut so easily. It's like, I wish I had a wire that I could really, it was really difficult to cut, but it's just so easy. It's really nice on your hands, they fit really well. I also have the pliers, this has a wire cutter too, but I use this a lot. So, we also need to have some flowers coming this way and that way. So I can use some ethereums here.
Cheryl.
The most difficult thing about this piece is trying to get it to balance, because I'm a little afraid that it's going to tip, so I've been really trying to balance it well. It's one thing you have to really remember when you're doing any kind of construction, think about how it's going to balance, how it's going to sit. You don't want it to topple over, things like this and that. This I tried to do with less connections, but it just didn't work. You need, the more connections you have, the more secure your structure's going to be. So sometimes, you know, you want to make something simple, and I only want a few lines there. If it's moving, it's not going to do any good. So I have no problem adding more, and more connections, more places connected. It's really stable. That's really what I want. I want pieces to be really stable.
You're talking about how things didn't topple over, but you had something on this, large like that on a window. So you also, work with light coming both ways, and it's not toppling over, but it certainly made it very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always thinking about how, the stability, it has to be there, but you still want it to be aesthetically beautiful and work. And the thing about the displacement is you need a relationship between the materials. So I'm trying to make this connection between the emergence from the base and where the displacement is. So, you're not just doing flowers here, you need to have some connection between the two. So that's why I'm putting some flowers in that
See if
give
there's
it more
anything else you
connection.
want.
I'm happy with that.